Is it a good idea to retire off of $800,000? Honestly, I'd say find a part-time job or hobby that makes money that you really enjoy. And start investing what you have saved in relatively low-risk investments. Hey, I won a very similar sum of money too literally last week. Congrats! I asked around on some finance subreddits and the main consensus was: pay off all debts, buy a property, seek out a financial advisor and let them manage your money for you. Good luck and have fun. Congratulations. Like the others, speak to a financial advisor. Now, I think it might be possible, but you kinda answered your own question. You're 40 and even stretching, you think it'll last about 20 years. So you'll be 60 and broke? Where will your earnings come after that? I'd say consider some other alternatives to get some income streams. Perhaps buy another property and rent? Find something part-time you can do to supplement your income that won't completely drain you. Gig work maybe? Start photographing things like weddings, etc. on the side. I can tell you this with certainty. Once the money is gone, it's gone. And you will regret everything and relive all the decisions you made thinking about how you could have done it again. And then you'll be stuck working. Sure, you had 15 years off. But now you're old, miserable, and broke. Lol, I speak from experience. Good luck. You don't have to decide tomorrow. You have plenty of time. Take your time. You should talk to a financial advisor about your actual dividend income after taxes. A common rule of thumb is the 4% rule, meaning you can take about $2,667 a month, 0.04x 800K, 12, from $800,000 of investments, and you'll never run out of money. This can be from dividends you receive as well as selling stocks as needed. Any more than this and your wealth will shrink over time. Realistically, you'll probably want to pay off any debts first and set aside a 6mo emergency fund. And if you buy a property, you'll have less than $2,667 a month of investment income. So it's a great start, and you can afford to take some time off to relax and reevaluate your life. But you'll probably have to keep working for a while to build up more investments until they can fully fund the lifestyle you'll be happy with long term. At 40, I don't think you could retire off of that unless you invest it wisely. Before buying a property, educate yourself by reading and seeking out information. I think you are at an age where you are just on the edge in terms of risk of not having enough. You probably could do it, but you have little room for unexpected issues or expenses. I am retired and in a similar situation, in that I have an IRA lump sum that I have to live on, make it last, and leave enough for my wife when I pass. One thing I have learned in this time, 4 years, is the power of income and the importance of capital. Every dollar invested is like having an employee working to make you money. Preserving capital maintains that money machine. It has changed my outlook on how I spend. Instead of buying large ticket items in cash, I look for free financing incentives or other low, no-cost ways of financing purchases. The longer I can stretch out the payments, the more I can finance the purchase from my income, rather than decreasing my capital. Even with all the swings of COVID, inflation, and other events that have led to continuous volatility in the market, my IRA value is 10% more than when I retired, and my income is 20% higher than when I was working. Like I said, by nature, I am much more conservative and cautious with my money. So not saying that my approach is the best approach. I have probably missed some opportunities by being too cautious. But other scenarios I would consider are the suggestion by another commenter to continue doing some work for a few more years while you prepare your future career plan. Another would be to look at other ways of setting up your business rather than investing a large chunk of your own capital. I know one of the dreams of winning a lottery is to be debt-free, but that's not always the best approach. $300,000 can buy at least $20,000 per year in income. Over 40 years. That's like another lotto ticket. But, hey, it's a good problem to have, right? For me, planning all this out would be fun in itself. Definitely pay off debts and see a financial advisor. Somebody legally obligated to give you sound advice. Help me with the name again? I also wouldn't rush the choice of retirement. If you hate your job, now you have some cushion to find a better one. But there are several good reasons not to quit working just yet. 1. Depending on where you live, $800,000 may not last that long. Having an income and allowing that lump sum to grow is a good idea too. Most people find a lot of purpose in their responsibilities. Work often being one of their biggest, you may actually be less happy after the initial relaxation wears off. Point 3. It can be hard to get jobs, but it's always easy to leave one. Until you're certain that you want to retire or maybe switch jobs and have one lined up, there's no harm in continuing to work. You can always quit next week if you want. My mother inherited a large sum of money when she was 55 years old, around $650,000. She bought a modest house that had an attached apartment that she collected rent on monthly, and bought a car and other stuff, and paid for an annuity. She is now 70 and the annuity ran out. Maybe it's good timing that she also developed dementia and is going to assisted living. Because her house had to get sold to pay for her care, living expenses no matter what happened. $700,000 is not enough to retire on at age 65. It's definitely not enough at 40. No. After you pay off debts, you'd have $730,000. After you buy the $300,000 home, you're at $430,000 left. You make $47,000 right now. So with the 4% rule, you'd need at least $1 million to retire to keep the same lifestyle you have now. So in other words, you'd be broke in about 10 years. No, I don't think that's nearly enough money for a 40-year-old to retire off of. Even if invested the majority properly. Even in a very cheap area for cost of living. Head over to our.fire for this type of info. You can probably set it all up where you can just be picky about the work you do and not chase every last dollar, but unlikely to retire off that. Sounds like you'll have $400K after buying and paying down stuff. Most would say safety. After investing this, you'd be able to withdraw $16K a year but also don't have a mortgage you need to pay. Really, if I was you, I'd put the $400K invested, take $0 out and work for like 10 more years while adding a little to it, since you have a paid off house and it should get over $1 million. Then you'd be able to take $40K out per year as a bare minimum. A planner will tell you exactly what to do, but if you really want to retire, I think it's best to put the $800,000, less the debt you pay off, into the stock market and live off of the interest that you will make. Save a few years and then buy a place, studio. And if you're in a rural area, you won't have enough of a market to make a living off selling photography out of a studio unless it is a high tourism area. Pay off your debt. Put the remainder of the $800K in a savings account you can't touch. Work one more year and see if any debt reappears. Right now your debt load is gigantic compared to your income, and your income isn't likely to rise with your proposed move. We need to figure that puzzle piece out first. I retired with less than that. Now I work part-time at a weed shop. I may live poorly, but at least I don't have to work to do it. I'm 39 and have around $500K between investments and real estate. $150 house. 350 investments. I have $0 in debt. I also don't feel anywhere close to be able to retire safely. Cost increases, especially over the past few years, have cemented in my mind that I need around $2 million in investments if I plan to live a comfortable retirement. On average, you should expect your investments to double every 7 years. I would recommend waiting 10-14 years before you start thinking of retiring. I don't know where you live and what your expenses are like, but you need to speak with a financial expert in your area who will go over everything in detail with you. Probably not as risky since you are Canadian. I guess you have access to cheap, free healthcare and probably can access an old-aged pension when you are of an eligible age, like 67 or so. Good for you coming into some serious dollar. I would recommend putting a good amount in a high-yield savings ACCT. 5% in the US currently. Then, work doing something you enjoy. And that also makes you a little bit of money. Look up the 4% rule. I think it will provide you with some solid insight on your position financially. $700K would yield $28K per year. If you can live on that, you won't have to ever earn another dollar. It seems a bit low to me, but I don't know your area. If you could make another 1,000 mo, you would probably be okay. Consult financial advisor. Make a spending budget plan for the next X amount of years and then find a hobby or job you enjoy doing to keep yourself occupied. The $800K will keep you comfortable, but you want to make sure it lasts. Oftentimes when people get lump sums, they develop really bad spending habits that they can't maintain long term. Pay off your debt. Buy the property and invest the rest so you can get a monthly return to live off of. If you need to return to work for any reason, then do so. I was awarded money at around your age. Won't say how much. My advice is, deposit the money and don't do anything with it for a few months. You need to get used to it psychologically. Keep working. If you want to take a shot on changing careers, you can do that. If you want to have a nice night out or a new watch or something, celebrate one time and then be done with that. Once you've gotten mentally used to the money, think about how you will invest it, and you can do that slowly over time. Do not tell people about your money. At your age, probably would have been good to take the payments rather than lump, but it sounds like you have already made the decision.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.